Hey, y'all, gravity. Any day above ground, live it. I hope everyone's having a great day. And the weekend is almost here. So if you're getting that rest, get that rest. Family, I got what? 4 more days to talk about these conservatives. And then I ain't talking about them until they get their wake up call. I think Larry Elder is he's knocking on the door of the wake up call. It's starting to crack open. Because if those who don't know, we had a mass deletion in Maine. Okay. Larry Elder went and stooged himself off and brought up Chicago. That's fine. We need that. We need all that. We need to know how you think. But did y'all know, family, and we're going to start here. Did y'all know that Larry Elder dropped out the race? So all that bullshit he was doing, all that bullshit he was doing, all these press tours, trying to get the word out that people need to vote for him. He went to the Breakfast Club and embarrassed himself. But of course, he had a viral moment, so we can't take that from him. Then went in front of Van Lathan and Rachel Lindsay and read his damn mouth again. But except this time he got cooked. And it was quite funny because he also had a viral moment, but he was on the other side of it.
That there is a problem.
Larry, get the fuck out of here. Like that's.
Yes, family. Yeah. He can't hide from that. We're going to use that forever. But let's begin there. Like I said, Larry Elder dropped out the race yesterday. It was hilarious. And of course, predictably, he went and endorsed 45 Savage. Of course he did. So he put up, it's time to unite behind real Donald Trump to beat Joe Biden. Look at that picture. So all that money you fleeced out of them people. Are you going to give that money back? No, you're not going to get that back. You don't have to. But yes, this man dropped out. Tabernacle. Radio host Larry Elder drops out of Republican presidential campaign, endorses Donald Trump. Coon train is never late. That's what they say. I don't say it. That's what they say. You know what? Let's let the AI talk for once. Fair use.
Conservative talk radio host Larry Elder announced Thursday that he was ending his 2024 Republican campaign for president and endorsing former President Donald Trump.
Torian, good morning.
Elder,
Denise, good
who
morning.
sought to replace California Governor Gavin Newsom in a failed 2021 recall effort, said in a statement that he had made the difficult decision to end his bid and throw his support behind Trump. Trump's leadership, he said, was instrumental in advancing conservative America First principles and policies that have benefited our great nation. He said now was the time to unite behind Trump to beat President Joe Biden. He also said he hoped his campaign had shined a light on the issues important to him, including fatherlessness, fighting crime, and opposition to the idea that the U.S. is a racist country. Elder is the fourth major candidate to suspend or end his 2024 GOP bid, following Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, former Texas Congressman Will Hurd, and businessman Perry Johnson. Johnson also backed Trump on his way out of the race, while Hurd endorsed former United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley. He announced his long-shot campaign in April, saying that America is in decline, but this decline is not inevitable. We can enter a new American golden age, but we must choose a leader who can bring us there. That's why I'm running for president, he wrote on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. Elder found little visibility in a primary race dominated by Trump and including other high-profile figures such as former Vice President Mike Pence, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, U.S. Senator Tim Scott, former United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley, and biotech entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy. It wasn't among the GOP candidates on stage for either presidential debate after failing to meet the polling and donor qualifications required by the Republican National Committee to participate. He said he filed a complaint with the Federal Election Commission after missing the first one, alleging the rules about debate participation weren't equally applied to all candidates. Elder made his first bid for public office in 2021, when he received the most votes out of 46 people who were hoping to replace Newsom in a recall effort. But a majority of voters ended up voting against removing Newsom, making the vote count in the replacement contest irrelevant. Some Democrats say Elder's role as a foil to Newsom helped the Democratic governor inspire voters in liberal California to turn out and reject the recall. Newsom attacked Elder for his support of Trump and his conservative positions, such as opposing abortion rights and restrictions imposed to slow the spread of COVID-19, such as mask mandates. But Elder said the experience of running for office and the millions of votes he received showed he had a message that resonated with voters. A lawyer who grew up in Los Angeles' rough South Central neighborhood, Elder attended an Ivy League college and then law school. He has a following among conservatives through his radio programs and has been a frequent guest on Fox News and other right-wing media. Elder, who is black, has criticized Democrats' woke agenda, Black Lives Matter, and the notion of systemic racism, positions that have put him at odds with many other black people. Read more.
Next article.
Washington, refusing to drop out. Republican Representative Jim Jordan told GOP colleagues Thursday he would back a temporary U.S.
Shut up. Shut up. All right. So, yeah. So you heard that. He's, Torian said he's a disgrace. Yeah. Hey, RNC told you. That white woman told you, Larry.
That there is a problem. Larry, get the fuck out of here.
That's what she told you, sir.
Yo, fuck nuts.
Oh boy. Do y'all want to hear the statement? You want me to read the statement? Because we have the statement. I almost don't want to read this crap, but for context, we need this. We need this. All right. Let's do it real fast. Oh, shit. It says I have too many files. Okay, never mind. I'll probably just read it from here. Can I don't remember if I can. No, I can't do that. Okay, I was trying to blow it up, but whatever. Let's see. So it says Larry Elder suspends presidential campaign and endorses Donald Trump. He has my full support to make America great again, and the epidemic of fatherless homes rein in spending and restore law and order. Because Trump has talked about fatherless homes before extensively. Of course he has. He's done this. We'll skip the first paragraph. I want to begin by expressing my deepest gratitude to all of you who have supported me throughout this presidential campaign. I have been truly honored by the enthusiasm and dedication of all of the grassroots support as we held the establishment party bosses accountable. Sir, who did you hold accountable? Who? Let us know. I don't remember you doing this. Sir, you left LA and flew to Milwaukee for the first debate, and you knew damn well you couldn't get in. You said it so yourself. If you see Elder or anyone from his team, don't let them in. What? What? I saw that, Tori. It's grassroots. They love talking about us, but they love to talk like us. Grassroots. All right, dude. Throughout my campaign, I have been steadfast in my belief that the biggest issues facing our nation are the crisis of fatherlessness, the dangerous lie that America is systemically racist, the need for an amendment to the Constitution to set federal spending to a fixed percentage of the GDP. Otherwise, government gets bigger whether Republicans or Democrats are in charge, and the need to remove the Soros-backed DAs across the country who refuse to enforce the law. Yet, black families are on the rise. Mother and father in the same home, but all right, we're not going to talk about that. Okay. Larry, you went on Higher Learning and said that the country is racist, but there's no systemic racism. How could the whole be available, but the part not be available? How does that work? That's like saying you have a pizza shop, but you have no cheese. No, I tell a lie. That's like saying you have a pizza shop, but you have no dough. It can't exist. If there's racism, you can have a system in place to enforce the racism. What are you, dumb? Okay. I guess you're one of the guys that has computers but doesn't have an operating system. Got it. Okay. The need for an amendment to the Constitution to set federal spending in to a fixed percentage of the GDP. Well, let's see. Every other president before this race hasn't done it, so I don't imagine it's going to get done. Anyway, and the Soros-backed DAs, yeah. But you conservative assholes had Trump in there, and y'all let it happen. But okay, sure. The breakdown of the family structure and the absence of positive father figures in the lives of many children have far-reaching consequences for our society, including the crime wave we are currently seeing in America today. You know what breeds crime? Lack of resources, Larry. But you're not talking about that. Hey, Larry, you could have a father in the home. You could have the mother in the home, but if they have a lack of resources, the kids are not going to thrive. It's going to be a lot harder. They're not going to thrive the way that you want them to thrive. But, you had your daddy in your life, and you wrote in your book that he was an asshole. You wrote that, not me. But yes, you said you were grateful for that man, and look how his son turned out. But we're not going to go there today. We're not going to do that. I hope that my campaign has helped shine a light on these critical issues and sparked important conversations about how we can solve them. Yeah, Larry, we're talking about fatherlessness because I don't hear Fox News talking about it. A place where you like to go on and chill. Hey, Larry, how come Epic Times hasn't done a documentary series about fatherlessness in America? I mean, they got the money. They have you platformed. Why didn't you do a documentary series on that? It shouldn't be that hard to raise money. Didn't do it. You've been alive for 71 years. You've been talking about this for the last 40, I guess, 40, we'll say 30, just to be nice. And you haven't done a documentary yet? Hell, you could have done it in California. At least lie on film. You could have done that, but we know you're not going to do that. As I look at the path forward and after careful consideration and consultation with my campaign team, I have made the difficult decision to suspend my campaign. It wasn't that difficult. Now that I am exiting the race, I am proud to announce my endorsement of Donald Trump for president of the United States. His leadership has been instrumental in advancing conservative America First principles and policies that have benefited our great nation. We must unite behind Donald Trump to beat Joe Biden and fight back against Biden's unprecedented election Okay. See, YouTube, I stopped myself. Fixing to get me in trouble. He wrote that shit, family. He wrote election, you know what? He wrote that. So he's one of these idiots who thinks that. Okay. All right. Not even going to tell you what I think. Y'all know what I think. Last time I said what I thought, I got suspended. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to be quiet. and the left's destruction of America. Because the right's not destroying America. Because the right's not destroying America, right? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Ping Gendron was on the left. Yeah. How come y'all didn't mention that? He was on the left, wasn't he? Oh no. No, he wasn't. Okay. What about the jackass down in Jacksonville? He was on the left, right, family? He was on the left. Wait, what? He wasn't on the left? No, Torian, I can't go there. I can't. I can't. I can't go there. I would love to go there, but I can't. I'm not losing my channel. Family. Yeah, that jackass, Paul Metter. Yeah, he was on the left, right? I mean, we didn't. He was shilling for the DNC all through his Facebook posts, right? Him and his daddy, right? No, no. They were for the GOP. Oh, I could have sworn that the left is destroying this country. I'm not absolving the left. They do fuck shit, but I'm just saying most of the shit that we're seeing is coming from the right side. Unite the right. Who started that shit? Who ran up in the Capitol? Now I know people ran up in the Capitol last week and they were pro Palestine, but who etched themselves in history 2 years ago? Who did that? Two years ago. Who did that? 2 years ago, 9 months, 3 weeks. Who did that? Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh God. Okay. I want to thank my supporters, volunteers, and donors who invested their time, energy, and resources in this campaign. From Iowa to New Hampshire to Nevada and beyond, I am grateful for the opportunity to have met so many incredible Americans who share our values. Although I am suspending my campaign for president, my commitment to addressing the crisis of fatherlessness, promoting conservative ideals, and supporting the MAGA movement remains unwavering. I will continue to work tirelessly to advocate for the issues that matter most to the American people. Thank you again for your support. May God bless you all, and may He continue to bless the United States of America.
And folk, them white people lost their mind.
You don't believe me that white people lost their mind? All right, say less. Here we go. We're gonna blow it up a little bit. I still don't understand why you're paying for a blue check. All right, 50.4 thousand. All right. You probably be talking shit. Anyway, thank you, Larry. Thank you. Thank you for what? Embarrassing MAGA? Okay, cool. Sinking ship. Good job. All right. Damn, I would be paid, but nobody wanted to bet on you, Larry. Thank you for your voice in the families without fathers. You put that first and foremost, and people listen. Glad you are supporting President Trump. Thanks again, Larry. Hey, Susan. Hey, Susan. Susan. Did she? Family, do you see this? Trump 2024, God, family, and country, America first. Back our military in blue. Oh, here we go. Not here to date. Not here to date. This is what she said.
What the hell?
What the hell? What the?
Huh? You're not here to date. Anybody checking for you? The fuck? The fuck? Who's checking for you? Oh, Lord. Okay, man. Xander the poet. Okay. Larry Elder, you were one of the best people we have. A gentleman and a scholar. Peter Schiff recommended you, and you are solid. Donated to your campaign to keep up everything you do. We're 100% behind you, and you would make an excellent VP, in my honest opinion. It's not and. Dumbass. But you're a poet. You're supposed to be able to bend words to elicit emotion, and you can't tell the difference between and. Dumbass. You don't believe me, family? There you go. This is what he wrote. Make and. You know what? I'm in a troll mood right now. I'm in a troll mood. Poets are supposed to bend words to elicit emotion, not misspell to curry favor and no, we'll just say and a hopeful like from the original poster. Damn. Somebody said, yes, Trump needs another VP to backstab like he did to backstab him like he did to Pence. All right. All right. Let's continue. Democrat Rick. Oh, Lord. Here we go. Democrat, black man, entrepreneur, West Philadelphia, born and raised, living in a red state. All right. Okay. Great. You're a sellout fraud. What's 30 silver coins did he promise you? Getting the cabinet job you aren't qualified for, which is his jam. Well, no worries. Trump's not winning. He's going to president. Sure. Larry should have been governor, should have been on debate stage as well. Hope Trump has a spot for you. You are a true American patriot. All right. The Elder campaign never had the opportunity to make the splash it deserved thanks to the RNC. Wait a minute. Hold it. Bring it back. Didn't he say didn't he say grassroots family? I saw and read grassroots. So the grassroots should have got him in there, not the RNC. You don't believe me that this person said that. I'm going to blow it back up. Right there. Cornel West doesn't have the backing of anybody really except the people, and he's making waves. So why couldn't Larry do it? And arguably Larry has a bigger fan base than Cornel West. So that just tells me that y'all don't like him. Y'all just want to put your money everywhere so you can y'all treat the RNC, y'all treat the GOP, y'all treat Trump, y'all treat Larry Elder and all these conservatives like a roulette wheel. You're just going to put your money everywhere because at that point you can't lose. This is how it's done. Thank you, Larry. I'll happily work to defeat the progressive populists here in Iowa. Bravo, Mr. Elder. Well said. Thank you, Mr. Elder, for endorsing President Trump. Who the fuck else was he going to endorse? You're going to prison. The fuck? Wait, Larry Elder did something wrong. He's going to prison? All right. And it goes on and on and on, family. We're not finna go through all that. But let's get to the show. This is what y'all really wanted to see and comment on. And this is what we're going to do. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to have to download that clip one day. I'm going to be nice. Dominic Bright, good morning. The StreamYard link is up. If you would like to come up and talk, that's all good with me. Dominic Bright, good morning. You saying you're not messing with Cornell? Hey, do your thing. JB Easy, good morning. Denise Scales, good morning. Yeah. And Greets, good morning. Yeah. So let's get to the show. This is what y'all really wanted to see.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern in.
So, family, like I said, yesterday he dropped out. That was Thursday. Family, when I tell you that Larry Elder is a dumbass, please believe me. When I tell you the white vote will doom us all, please believe me. Now, that statement that Larry Elder put out was at 148 yesterday, 161.3 thousand views, right? Cool. Tell me why in 4.5 hours he puts this up. I'm sorry. 4.5 hours before he put this up. So he knew he was going to drop out yesterday. He should have put this first. But he knew he didn't. Because somebody near him probably told him, listen, this dumbass tweet you threw out 4.5 hours earlier, they're cooking you. You're getting cooked. So just announce that you're out. So to get the stink off. But you know us, family, in the Black Grassroots, New Black Media, we don't forget. No. So Larry Elder put this up in regards to the Maine mass deletion that happened the day previous. Because of the Maine mass shooting, the president ordered flags to fly half-staff. Okay, that's his prerogative. He can do what he wants. And the press secretary called for further gun control. Okay, they've been doing that since they got in office. Yet, here we go, yet neither the president nor the press secretary even mentioned the 53 people shot, 11 fatally during Memorial Day weekend in Chicago. Okay. Conservatives. I'm going to need y'all to stop bringing up Chicago. It doesn't work anymore. This is how y'all act, both sides, when y'all bring up Chicago. $2.2 thousand likes. He got ratioed to hell. The quote tweets are insane. Sir, let's see what you're talking about. Memorial Day weekend mayhem leaves 53 shot, 11 fatally in Chicago. Cool. So it's not like you're telling a lie. Okay. More than 50 people were hit, 11 fatally over a violent Memorial Day weekend in Chicago, police said. The gunshot victims include 2 toddlers who were accidentally shot and wounded in separate incidents, and 2 teenagers, a 14-year-old boy and 16-year-old girl, who were hurt in unrelated shootings while standing on sidewalks, according to a review by ABC News of the weekend incident reports from the Chicago Police Department. On Tuesday, police officials said at least 53 people were hit across the city in 42 separate incidents that occurred between 6 p.m. on Friday and 11:59 on Monday. Besides the 11 people who were fatally hit over the weekend, an additional person was fatally stabbed, according to police. The string of shootings occurred as newly elected Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson's safety plan was deployed over the Memorial Day weekend. Johnson's initiatives support violent prevention programs and youth outreach efforts by funding the work of more than 250 grassroots organizations across 24 communities on the west and south sides of Chicago. The spike in gun violence in Chicago comes as city leaders were seeing declines in both homicides and shootings this year. Before this past weekend, homicides in Chicago were down 7% from the 228 slayings that occurred in the first 5 months of 2022, according to the Chicago Police Department's crime stats. Shooting incidents are also down 9% this year compared to last year, crime statistics say. So Chicago was trending down. All right, cool. Somebody didn't like that. This weekend, what you saw on display is that everybody recognizes it's going to take all of us to unite this city and build a better, stronger, safer city, Johnson told reporters at a community event on Monday. Yeah, and we see what you're doing with that 5 months later, sir, but okay. Johnson acknowledged that we have a lot of work to do to curb gun violence in Chicago and says poverty continues to be one of the primary reasons for the shootings and homicides. Poverty didn't go away over the weekend, Johnson said. We understand that when communities have been disinvested in and traumatized, that you're seeing the manifestation of the trauma. 7 of the 11 gunshot deletions occurred on Saturday, according to police. And it goes on and on and on. All right. So we got a little bit of context on what he's talking about. Like I said, family, this man got cooked. Well, Torian, you know why. That's intellectual heavy lifting, and he's not going to do that. That actually requires research. He ain't going to do that. Not at 70, almost 72 years old. He ain't going to sit down and start comparing stats. He's not going to do it. But like I said, he put up this dumbass tweet, got ratioed to hell. Now, between that tweet and this tweet, yeah, not that much changed, but okay. The Chicago boogeyman narrative is getting old, man. All right. This was mine. That was May. We're in October. 18 is bigger than 11. 80 is bigger than 53. Keep up, old man. Call your boy so well since you're bad at math and numbers, which also explains why you can't get on the debate stages too. Now, this was before I even found out that he dropped out. There goes Sister Rhonda Renee, Rose City. When is your Memorial Day coming? It will be celebrated in the Black community forever. Can't wait for you to get that call. Both of them. Well, gonna call it coon aberration. That's his words, not mine. Right on time. I swear your cooning has no limit. It doesn't fit their narrative. Here they go. Here it is. White men have committed more mass deletions than any other group. Mostly true. It's the same narrative. We need stricter gun regulation rather in Chicago or Maine. Yes, it does. Did it occur to you that the gun control will prevent shootings and death in Chicago as well? Murder rate per capita is higher in red states than blue states. Here we go with the per capita. Okay. Let's continue. And neither did Trump, you poser. Here is. There's a difference between inner city drug-related gang violence and a man shooting up people in a bowling alley. Okay. And let's see what them quote tweets look like. There it is. Oh, we can't believe it. Get it. Get out. Yeah. Get it. Get it. Get it. Oh, we know where the white women at. She told to go home. And one of them called the cops on them. Damn. Who did this? Damn. But that's your man's. They go Tariq. Them butter biscuits couldn't come out of the oven fast enough. God, dog. Shout out to Great Black Shark. Okay, Larry Elder, since you're so concerned about Chicago, when are you going to go there and offer tangible assistance to improve things? Moreover, give an intelligent explanation for how the Maine shooting correlates to Chicago in any way. No parrot is worthy of leadership. This goon couldn't resist bringing up Chicago. Wake up call coming soon. The door is cracking on this man. Because somebody answer this question for me. Who are these phantom people that allegedly keeps getting shot in Chicago? Does anybody know these people? This maggot hasn't said anything about the Asian gang members who were caught on video deleting a black man. Hadn't said anything about the officer framing 400 black people. Just using Chicago as a dog whistle, not realizing Latino Hispanics commit most of these crimes. Again, that's intellectual heavy lifting that he's not going to do. Because Biden won't have them as voters. He only cares about black Democrat voters. All right. There's that. I'm not playing that because I got hit with a copyright last time. Excuse me. I wonder how many biscuits he choked on when he wrote this. Damn. Shut the hell up. If you aren't doing anything to fix the problem, then don't say anything at all. Nah, they got to say something. They got to get paid. Force team in Chicago pays the bills. Look, Ma, another white mass shooter apologist deflecting and blaming Negroes for cover. The mass shooter was white guy. Where was his father? Did he have a father in the household? I like that one. Here you are, buck dancing, Coco sellout, you clown. You couldn't just keep your mouth shut. Keep my city out your mouth. You real life Stephen from the Django Unchained. I want to slap the civil rights movement out of you uncivilized mud. Come on, Ashy Larry. Just stop. Just stop, Larry. Just stop, Ashy. All right. Wrong because of the Maine mass deletions. Get it right or shut up. The true conservative. All right. I need to know Dude's lineage. He has been in that on that train for far too long.
Get your ass up out of my face. You are a coon. Get your ass up out of my face.
Wait a minute. This car guy shot 53 people in Chicago this past Memorial Day. Shout out to Weebay. And it goes on and on and on. He said, what about what happened in 5 months ago in Maine, another city? Facts. But family, what if I told you this ain't the first time he brought up Chicago? What if I told you that this wasn't it?
That there is a problem.
Larry, get the fuck out of here. Like that's.
Y'all don't believe me. Say less.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern. We move on tonight.
Tabernacle. Oh, yeah. He said this last year, family. When Lightfoot, Uncle Thunderbird, was still in office. Listen to what he said. Fair use.
The failures of the Democratic agenda are leading to more and more violence on streets all across the country. And while Democrats try and run from this truth and reality and run from the destruction that the far left extreme agenda is causing the country and real pain inflicted on these residents, it's now undeniable. Yet again this weekend, a wave of shootings hit the city of Chicago. Over 4 dozen shootings this weekend in Chicago alone, 50 plus people shot, including this sick and twisted attack. Look at this, a married couple literally following an apparent fender bender after the city's Puerto Rican Day parade on Sunday, dragged from their car and shot execution style pretty much in cold blood. The man, 24-year-old Giovanni Arzuga, he's dead. His 25-year-old girlfriend, she's fighting for her life tonight, and police say no one is in custody. Interesting. I doubt you've heard the name before right now. How is it 50 people are shot and most of America doesn't know the name of one of them? We've been running names and scrolling names on this show since when Biden was vice president. And this was Obama's home city. Mayor Lori Lightweight, well, you're a complete failure. You have let your city completely deteriorate. It's now devolved into a total war zone. You can't have a pursuit of happiness in any way without law and order and simple safety and security. Maybe focus a little bit less on attacking Republicans and looking at the race of reporters that cover you and fueling divisive woke politics, and maybe focus on what's going on in your backyard, in your city that you claim to care about. You, along with Comrade Bill de Blasio, so many others, failed Democratic mayors and governors, complete disgrace to this country. You're not protecting the citizens you're supposed to protect. You're not being the public servants you swore to be.
Oh, hey, Handmaiden, Sean Handmaiden. I just couldn't help noticing that you were dog whistling Chicago. We know what that means, black people. Yeah, and you know, as soon as you saw the story come over your desk, you was all you was ready.
The more hit, and hit, and 4 hit, and
Funny thing about that, because you know, I was intimately making sure I stayed update on that, because I was like, there ain't no way black people did this. By the way, this is the dude who was charged with first-degree deletion. He ain't black. His name, what was his name? It was, yes, here we go. I think it was, yes, Anthony Lorenzi. He ain't black. Yeah. Because I remember when this story broke, y'all were saying in Chicago, so it had to be black people that did that. Yeah, he ain't black. But okay. You got it. Back to this.
If you can't protect basic safety and security, law and order, you can't support the police, and you support no bail, well, then it's time for you to resign and let somebody in that will protect the people of your city and your state. It's not just Chicago. New York City prosecutors, get this, they're now dropping charges against hundreds of rioters and looters that were caught last summer during the unrest, better known as rioting, exposing yet again that this is a failed socialist city and state. They're going to stalk Donald Trump. And, well, did he pay every penny of every tax going back the last 39 years of his life, but do nothing to save the lives of innocent people? We have people on videotape committing acts of arson and looting. We have their identities. We have their videos. We have their pictures. We have all the evidence we need. We're not doing a thing. You know, are we going to create a city with normal, common sense, law-abiding Americans where they can pursue their lives? What's going on in these Democratic-run hellholes is an abomination. It's unacceptable. It's preventable. It's unconscionable. Unfortunately, it's not at all surprising. It's a natural consequence of what Democratic rule does to everything around it. It works like clockwork. Far-left extremists take no responsibility, defund, dismantle, no bail laws, and look what's happened. Take a look.
And many of the cities that have talked.
Oh, you mean like people on the right who do crime and y'all give them an excuse? Yeah.
About removing that money, like Minneapolis and Seattle, they've actually paused or slowed how they were thinking about moving that money. So this rising crime is not the fault of the movement. It's actually the fault of the police. And this has been our point all along. Why should we keep funding systems and institutions that keep rendering themselves ineffective? We should be talking about gun control, livable wages, fair housing, education. That's where we should be moving the money to ensure truly safe streets.
Joining us with reaction, radio talk show host, nationally syndicated Larry Elder, along with Leo 2.0 Terrell. You know, Larry, I'm looking at your reaction. I'm looking at Leo's reaction. Larry, I'll start with you. We do this every week. Every Monday, we can come on the air, give you the names of 50 people shot in Chicago, 50 people shot in New York, every other city. Nobody knows their name.
Dude, so you could have dropped the names. You could have done that, but you're going to do that in a little while. But go ahead.
Larry, nobody seems to care about their names because they can't politicize it.
You know, Sean and Leo, in 2007, when Obama was first interviewed by 60 Minutes, Michelle was interviewed as well. And Steve Croft, the correspondent, said, "Are you worried about your husband's safety?" And Michelle said no, because as a black man, Barack could be shot at a gas station in Chicago. She wasn't talking about QAnon. She wasn't talking about white nationalists. She's talking about the crime in Chicago. It's one of those candid moments. And Kamala Harris in Guatemala talked about root causes. Why aren't we talking about the root causes here? And they include, as you pointed out, the defund the police movement, Black Lives Matter, the lie that the police are engaging in systemic racism, the pressure that police officers are now under for fear of being accused of racism. They're pulling back. Surprise, surprise, crime has gotten up. And not least of which, the major root cause, fatherlessness, not just in the black community, but in the Hispanic community and in the white community. And we're not having a conversation about that at all.
And you know, Leo, they don't give an Adam Schiff. They just don't give a Schiff. Seriously, about these lives. Or else, no, seriously, we would know the names of the people every weekend shot if they cared about lives matter.
Okay. Family, do you see the list that they're scrolling on the screen?
These lives.
So I don't know if that's from 2009, just that year, or is that from like people that have been deleted in Chicago since 2009? I don't know. Y'all should have had the names. If y'all want to talk about what happened that weekend in Chicago, you should have had the names of all the victims. Y'all should be advocating for the victims and their families. All right, but you didn't want to do that. Okay.
Names we're scrolling would matter. We have a record number of police officers killed in the line of duty this year. This is all on top of last year's record. So the problem gets worse, but we'll hear about the 1, the 2 cases that they can use politically to bludgeon Republicans. Why?
Why? Because they exploit and they use black people. That's all they use them for. They don't use them to progress them. They don't use them to improve schools. Lori Lightfoot is a political gangster. She's cut a deal. She's not going to go after the gangs. She's going to go after white reporters. She's going to go after gun control of law-abiding citizens. She ignored the help of Donald Trump, but she's begging for help from Joe Biden because she wants to make it a gun issue. She wants to make it a pandemic issue, but she allows the gang members, the career criminals, to flourish in Chicago. She got Al Capone got nothing on Lori Lightfoot. She is a gangster, and she's cut a deal with the Chicago gang, and she's going to allow them to flourish, and she's going to at the expense of minorities. It's ridiculous. It's shameful.
The 3 of us, and I'll end it here. All these names we're scrolling, we all agree their lives matter, but we're the only show doing it. We're the only show saying every one of these lives matter. We know how to fix this. If they want to fix it, they can fix it. They clearly don't want to. At some point, they're aiding and abetting this ongoing death and violence and destruction.
So there you go, family. There you go. He said that shit. Torian, I took your advice. I looked up something. I think you'll be interested. I'm just proofing it real fast. No, I did not. And why are you here? You don't give a fuck about us. Why are you here? Go do something with your life. Ain't you supposed to be outside with a sign telling black people how they should vote for Trump? Go do something with your life.
And a lot of white folk have demonstrated eloquently that they don't have no sense.
These white / black / gray trolls, man. They y'all not creative, man. I know ever since the orange man left, your troll game has just went up all the way, bruh. All the way. But anyway, let's continue.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
I took Torian's advice. I wanted to see what Larry Elder said about Buffalo. Apparently, he mentioned it in here. Let's see what he said. Fair use. God, no. Not playing that.
Of a shooting taking place at what he calls a gun-free zone. And is it true that the United States leads the world in mass shootings? Also later on in the program, we're going to talk to the LA County Sheriff, Alex Villanueva, about the crime wave here in California and about all the soft on crime DAs, one in New York.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, Alex Villanueva, you know, the corrupt cop. Yeah, him. You're taking him serious. Okay, Larry. Thanks for just letting us know how non-credible we should take you. Thank you.
One in Philadelphia, one in Chicago, and 2 here in California. All of that and more. But first,
there you go with Chicago again.
Shooting at the Texas Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. This is before the casualty count went up.
We just got another update. Unfortunately, the number of dead continues to rise. We have just been told moments ago by Texas DPS there are now 19 deceased children as well as 2 deceased teachers here at Robb Elementary School as a result of this mass shooting. The number of casualties just keeps going up. Earlier this afternoon, we were told
he put on the glasses.
Children,
he's about to get
teacher,
intellectual, family.
19 children and 2 teachers, unfortunately. You take a look at this video right here. This was posted on social media shortly after that shooting. And alleged act tonight are...
And again, since that report, that number has gone up. Now we're talking about 19 children killed, 2 teachers. This reaction by the Golden State Warriors NBA head coach Steve Kerr is typical of some of the kinds of things I've been hearing this morning in the wake of this shooting.
That's what we're going to do.
Don't care about that.
Every day because of guns. Murder every day because of guns. 35. If you do the math, it comes to over 12,000 people. I've been watching television all morning, watching all day yesterday, on and off, looking at Fox, looking at CNN, looking at MSNBC, looking at ABC, NBC, CBS. Not 1 second was devoted to the question of how often Americans use guns to defend themselves. Not one. Now, during the Obama administration, he ordered the CDC to look at existing research. They can't do any original research, but to look at existing research on how often Americans use guns to defend themselves. And they put out a report that very few people read because it didn't fit the script. And it said, at minimum, there's at least one defensive use of a firearm for every illegal taking of a life from a firearm. At least one life is saved for every one life taken, says the CDC. And the CDC also pointed out, and we'll talk to John Lott later on in the program about this, that there are some studies that show as many as 2 million Americans every single year use a firearm in order to break off an attack.
Okay. See, well, we not going. Okay. I'm going to deviate from the program for a little bit. Okay. Look here. What y'all not going to do, you trolls, y'all not going to come in here and slander people. Now, you got a problem with Torian, you go to his channel and you confront him over there. All right? That's one. Number two, I put the link up there. I want you, fine, since you want to put shit out in my comment thread, why don't you come up here and prove that they're best friends? And last I checked, I've been following Torian for about 3 years now. He's never once said he supports Trump. So what you're not going to do in my comment thread is lie. Show me where Torian said this. So you have two options. You either go get this link and send it to me, or you get your bitch ass up here and you come tell me to my face where he did this. And I'm gonna be nice today because it's Friday. You got about 5 minutes to do that. If I don't see either of those two actions happening, you know exactly where you're gonna go. I gave you fair warning, and everybody in here heard me say it.
90% of the time, it's merely brandishing the firearm. And of that 2 million, there's a criminologist named Gary Kleck who says 40% of the people who use guns for defensive purposes believe, but for the firearm, they would have been dead. Now, it seems to me when we're looking at 12,000 people murdered every year because of firearms, you ought to at least look at the number of people who are alive every year because of firearms. And if you do the math, and the number is in fact high as 2 million, you're talking about 5,000 Americans every single day.
Oh, God.
Now, another thing we haven't talked about at all, again, watching a lot of television, is hardening the target.
Oh, God.
Is there. And they didn't want to hear about the Second Amendment allowing Americans to keep and bear arms. It is a
okay. He just babbling. Okay, so like I said, I took Torian's advice. We're looking. We're looking the truth about mass deletions. That might have to be a separate video. I ain't finna do that. So you tagged Buffalo, but I'm looking. I don't see you say anything about Buffalo. Okay, let's do it like this. Peyton Gendron. There you go. That's what I thought. Okay, but maybe he didn't say something about him particularly. Let's look up top supermarket. This is not looking good, Larry. This is not looking good. One more search term. John Lott talks to Larry Elder about the Buffalo mass public shooting. Mass public? Huh? What? This was the video I was looking at. Let me see something. Here we go. So apparently he's talking to this John Lott dude, and they have a segment called The Epidemic of White Supremacist Killers. Okay. Let's oh God. Why don't you go ask him? He has his own channel. Pick a video, put the comment there. He'll get the notification in the studio. Ask him this question. Don't do it here. Hey, jackasses for Trump. You got about 2 minutes.
Let's talk a little bit about this rhetoric, the epidemic of white supremacist killers stalking America. I'm looking at some numbers, and white males, and almost all these shootings and killings are done by men. White males represent roughly 63% of the male population, but have committed in the last 20 years or so 54% of these mass shootings and mass killings. In other words, they are underrepresented when compared to the percentage of the population. On the other hand, black males are roughly 12.3% of the population, but roughly 17.5% of these mass shootings, mass killings have been done by white males, and similar numbers regarding Asian.
What? Whoa. I gotta go back. What did he just say?
Or so 54% of these mass shootings and mass killings. In other words, they are underrepresented when compared to the percentage of the population. On the other hand, black males are roughly 12.3% of the population, but roughly 17.5% of these mass shootings, mass killings have been done by white males, and similar numbers regarding Asian. Asian males are roughly 3.6 or so of the population, but in the last 20 years have committed about 6.6% percentage of these mass shootings and mass killings. So if anything, these so-called people of color, close quote, are overrepresented when it comes to mass shootings and mass killings, but white men are underrepresented.
Right.
What?
You know, you would think that they would adjust for the shares of the population to see whether or not particular groups are, greater threat than others. I mean, obviously, it doesn't fit in with Biden administration push on white supremacists that they're going to be going after. Obviously, it does see whether or not, you would think that they would adjust for the shares of the population to see whether or not particular groups are, greater threat than others. I mean, obviously, it doesn't fit in with Biden administration push on white supremacists that they're going to be.
By the way, I come to find out that this John Lott dude is one of them folk. So yeah, for those who kept telling us, "Oh, them folks stand with us," yeah, that's how them folk think about us. But all right.
Going after. My research, I find about 9% of the mass public shooters since 1998 have in any way been associated with neo-Nazi, white supremacists, anti-immigration, which is a pretty broad category, or other similar types of things. Muslims make up essentially the exact same percentage of mass public shooters. Muslims make up about 0.4% of the U.S. population, so they're way overrepresented. I'm not trying to go and single out any particular group. I'm just saying that if you're going to go and try to demonize certain groups, at least try to take into account their shares of the population when you're doing it. But one of the interesting things to me has been it's just not Biden going after, but entertainment television. You watch CBS, all sorts of cop shows from SWAT and other things.
So we're going to blame what? Oh God. Okay, before we get into that, yeah, y'all know what to do. Hey, Torian, you still here? You know what to do. You know what? Let me take care of this one. Let me take care of this one. We finna do it like this. All right, I didn't see no link. I ain't see no clicking of the StreamYard. Yeah, you know where you going. Yeah. So we went from this guy saying that he don't want to demonize no groups all the way down to blaming what Hollywood puts on TV, which is considered a luxury. You don't have to watch it. Hey, jack off. I'm here to tell you. Cop shows aren't something that most people watch. You know why they put cop shows on TV? Because they spike the views. More often than not, you're going to get viral clips. The decline of the cop show has been happening since the mid 2010s. Yes, SVU been on for about 20 years now. It was cool late 90s, early 2000s. That was the cool show to watch because the first Law and Order was starting to get bland. Criminal Intent was not everybody's cup of tea. The Rookie, it's a good show, but most people can't tell you the storylines. They just know the viral clips. SWAT just got canceled. NCISLA just got canceled. People don't want to see cop shows anymore. But for you to about to blame cop shows for what's going on out here, that's insane.
On CBS, their big boogeyman over the last couple of years has been white supremacists going and doing mass public shootings. And, it's...
I thought art imitates life.
I don't know, I suppose they want to go and demonize something there, but, I'm not sure other than politically, what's the point of doing that?
Hey, wouldn't that be considered then white on white crime? Because is white men making these shows and producing these shows and the white studios putting them together? Wouldn't that mean that that's white on white crime? Something that y'all tell us doesn't exist. Just thinking out loud, family.
In fact, John, the producer of Cops once publicly said that he overrepresents white criminals and underrepresents black criminals because he does not want to, quote, perpetuate the stereotype, close quote. In other words, he does not want his show to reflect the truth about who's committing crime in America. And John, when it comes to things like admissions into colleges, the percentage of blacks who are behind bars, poverty, the percentage of black head coaches in the NFL, the percentage of black nominees and winners for the Academy Awards, we're always being told about underrepresentation. But when it comes to the percentage of people who are killing, who are engaging in mass shootings and mass killings, all of a sudden, overrepresentation is something they don't want to talk about.
Right. Well, things like the lack of success for many young people, you and I would both agree. You want to move away from single parent families. You want to have more competition in terms of schooling that's there, have vouchers, have, the worst performing schools are in these heavily minority areas. And, it's really...
Didn't you just say you didn't want to demonize any groups? Did you not just say that? You didn't want to demonize any groups. You just demonized groups. Hey, Mr. Lott, I don't know who needs to tell you this, but there are also failing white schools. Just like there's failing white areas out here. Owsley County, anybody? Lee County out in Kentucky. Would you like to go there?
real damage to people's future lives if they're not getting the proper education. We're not, we wouldn't want to just have one car company for the working, the government producing cars or computers or something like that. Why do we want to give them a monopoly, essentially, on something as important as education?
Absolutely. Now, John, for the last part of our interview, let's talk about the number of people who use guns for defensive purposes, many of whom would...
I don't care about that. Okay. So they're basically trying to say it ain't white folk doing all the mass shootings. They're underrepresented. Everybody else is overrepresented. But again, family, for y'all, again, this man did not mention a damn thing about Buffalo. No RIP to the victims. None of this. Look, it ain't here. It's not here. Let me see if he says something about Uvalde. I want to see if he's consistent. Okay, at least he's consistent. No RIP. Didn't say nothing about Penginger. Didn't say nothing about Top Supermarket. None of this. That y'all's Larry Elder, boy. Larry, not my elder. Oh, boy. The man brought up something happened 5 months ago to take the stink off this white man. Wow. Did not know that. All right, family, I'm out of here. Gotta get ready to go to plantation. Yeah, but there you go. There's Larry stooging himself off again. He thinks he's the man. Can't help the brother. Nor should we.
Who is we? Who is we?
It's just going to be great when he loses all his support. And like I said, he's going to be on the corner yelling about fatherlessness and we need to save this country. He's just going to be doing it all day, every day, twice on Sunday, 4 times on a holiday. The door is cracking open and the wake-up call is slowly coming to him. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get up out of here. I appreciate y'all coming in for this impromptu live. I will see y'all tomorrow. We're going to be discussing this Hamas-Israel conflict, and we're going to go down that rabbit hole. We're going to church, family. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I'm going to try to make it so you guys don't fall asleep in the pews. I hope. But yeah, I'm going to get up out of here. Take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your day.